All right, so this is a battle report between Warriors of the Dark Gods and the Kingdom of Aquitaine. This battle report is between me and Oncebitten. This is our second game now at this new shop, and he came to bring the thunder, and he did not disappoint. When I came into the battle, I knew he was going to be bringing the Kingdom of Aquitaine to the fight, because he said he wasn't going to be using the beef herds for a while, so his fallback is usually the Kingdom of Aquitaine. But I did not expect the level and the extent of what he was bringing. So he brought, it looks like he brought 4 columns of knights and a large unit of knights errant, and a smaller, 2 small fast cavalry units. And man, that's just a lot. And he also has 2 trebuchets, and those trebuchets have been the bane of my army for a while now. So I get first turn, and I do my vanguards. First of all, move up the vanguard up on the hill over to the left, and the vanguard over to the right. I have another vanguard unit over to the far right. And I think this battle, above anything, is one reason why I need to get. I'm kind of rusty with the shaft game, and been rusty for a little bit now because just haven't been focusing on playing the game in a while. But this is how the vanguard. This is how the board looks. I brought the pain train again, a unit of warriors with halberd and shield, and they have 2 sorcerers in it, and they're both using the lore of lust. One having an extra spell and the other one having only 2. I really don't know what to go up against in this list, because the problem is I do have a lot of punch, but the punch is it's in 1 unit, and this setup he has is the best way to alleviate that problem, because he can hit me with multiple knight units, and that would clean my clock real good. The only way I can really mitigate that is if I can slow down some of his charges with my magic. So I moved the knights, my fast cavalry up like so, trying not, and he also, I moved him up like that. He's trying to counter them by kind of facing his units out to the side. That model in the middle with the 3-headed dog, that is a blood beast. He has the same weapon skill as my general, so he's weapon skill 8. And here's his turn. He decides he wants to charge my horsemen. I'm going to go ahead and decline that charge, because I believe those guys are a little bit stronger than my guys, and I just don't want to give away points this early in the game. And then he moves his fast cavalry around my fast cavalry over here on the left. And then he attempts to redirect the other fast cavalry into the other fast cavalry, and I fled with that too, so I double fled there. And then he moves his fast cavalry right there in front of the crushers. Now that usually spells the end of this unit. Usually when you do that, that's the way you stop that unit from doing anything, and it hurts. In my turn, I was actually able to charge the blood beast into his knight unit. I think the knight unit was a little larger than that. They were able to put through a wound on the blood beast, but the blood beast did quite well in close combat. They were steadfast and they stuck. I'm actually respecting the blood beast. It's only 175 points, and it did decently. However, I think the once chosen of wrath would still do it better. But in his turn, I was able to win close combat, and he fled. I overrun, caught him, and I ended up facing the flank of his larger unit. Now, here I thought that he was actually going to charge the beast on the flank, but then when you really look at it, he wouldn't be able to close the door, and it wouldn't be a legal charge. So that helped it. That helped there. Over here, I'm facing down. My other cavalry rallied, and we found out that you can move a unit after it flees a fast cavalry. And so we rallied, and then I moved them back out there to sit there. I really actually, to tell you the truth, I forgot that my units of barbarians have thrown weapons. So, um, oh man, it was a mess up on my part. I could have actually been taking advantage of them the whole time. Yeah, and he just keeps moving his fast cavalry in front of the crusher bus, and ooh, it's just there's nothing you can do about it as a warrior player really, except for hit him with thrown weapons. And I have very few of those, and actually not in a position to actually do anything to help, except for here. I could have thrown weapons here, and possibly wasted a couple of guys so I can get around them. In his turn, he decided, my magic phase was terrible, by the way. That's why I'm not even talking about it. I rolled a 1 or a 2 every magic phase. And then when I did have big magic phases, it was just like, yeah, you're going to not make the casting by 1. And it was like rolls that needed like an 8 and stuff like that. He wanted to charge his most unit into the crusher bus. And I was like, yeah, sure, go ahead, do that. You know, I mean, I didn't really say anything about that, but then he does charge his leftmost unit into the barbarians. That's going to be a foregone conclusion there. He decides to try to charge the plague unit over into the far right, and he fails to charge with his large bus. He also fails with the unit to the second to the left. Unit next to that unit, he also fails there. So that was a good thing, which actually gave me a larger area with the blood beast to hit that unit on the flank. So you know that's looking up there. Over here in close combat, I don't even know why I have pictures of this. This is a foregone conclusion. In his shooting phase, he lobs a rock right on my general. And sure enough, he hits, and then he scores enough wounds to kill him. Man, oh man. Oh man. That sucked balls. But, live with it. And in my turn, I decided to charge in the Plague Bearers, and I charged in the Hell Striders. What I should have done was actually move the Hell Striders in the way to block those left units. I don't know what I was thinking. In fact, I was thinking I should do that, but then I was like, maybe I should send them in. Maybe they might be able to produce some kind of combat res, but they wouldn't really produce combat res outside of the combat res that the Blight chosen wouldn't have already have done. So, you know. But in close combat, we did win close combat. He turned and faced, and that was that. But I did start losing the Hell Riders. Yeah, I really, thinking it back, I really should have done that. In my turn, I decided to move the guys, the fallen. They beat the horsemen in close combat, overrun, and then in his turn he charges them in the face, and then he puts his unit right there. I mean, every time he has these units that are in the way of the crusher bus, and it makes it so that my characters can't really exit because they don't have clearance out of the movement tray. So in this close combat, the beast did terrible. He missed with all of his close combat attacks, and they ended up doing quite terribly. This is a foregone conclusion here. Maybe I might be able to take out a couple of knights on the way down. And then this is what we're looking at now. So if I let both units hit me, the crushers are doomed. And my BSB is doomed. So I decided to go ahead and charge the BSB into the night bus. He might be able to live. He might live. He might not live. But yeah, might as well. This is going downhill quick. Yep. You say the Blood Beast and the Plague guys died, and it was because of the combat resolution that was given by the Hell Riders, because they weren't actually able to produce a combat resolution of their own. So I think I ended up pulling a rookie move there. He decided to go ahead and charge his one of his units into the a lance into the warrior unit. I think the warriors may do well there. And over here in close combat, I think the BSB has a good chance of surviving with a 1-up armor save and a 5-up ward. Yep. So here's what he does here. He charges the warriors. The warriors stuck there. He also charges the remaining crushers. And in close combat, he breaks the crushers, of course. I'm stopping the magic pretty well. Nothing's really destroying me with magic, so I'm not gonna really talk much about the magic. He does get a couple of spells off. Mostly the spells are so he can negate wounds suffered. So it helped him in little ways. I think one of them helped with ward saves. Increasing ward saves and the like. he beats them in close combat. They get away. Over here in close combat, he does a wound to one of my sorcerers, and I think he kills the other one. So it's only a matter of time before I'm not going to have any wizards left if this persists. In close combat, the BSB is going to town in my turn. I was able to cast a spell or two. I gave him 2 extra attacks. So now he's sitting on 10 attacks, hitting on 2s. Not 10 attacks. I think he has like 7. He did a number of that knight unit. Over here in close combat, the Crushers lost close combat. He killed one whole Crusher. The other one couldn't really do anything. He had a rank and a banner and charge. So the Crusher ended up fleeing. I think they ended up fleeing off the table actually. And in this close combat, at his turn, the BSB kills the last remaining knight and faces the unit for my turn coming in. In turn 6, yeah, I'm going to charge the flank of that knight unit to free up the warriors. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do because I don't really have any. Well, I have magic, it's not working for me. I think I was able to get a spell through. He was supposed to take leaderships on 3 dice now. Kind of like you call it a hot-blooded leadership role. I would call it yellow belly leadership role. Anyway, I was able to charge in with the Crusher BSB. So this should go my way there. And maybe, just maybe, if the warriors are lucky enough after this close combat, they'll be able to do average and do some wounds and might be able to hold hold off this loss. But I'm going to go ahead and challenge with the sorcerer. He's definitely going to die. But the Crusher Lord must be able to attack. And so in close combat, the Crusher BSB destroyed the rest of the knights. He overran and the warriors turned to face their destroyer. Hopefully they'll survive. And no, they didn't. In close combat, they did quite badly after his charge, and that was it. That was game. I don't know. I had 400 points left on the board. It would have been interesting to see how many points he actually had left. To actually see how many points it was. But I think he still had a knight unit floating around. So it was a good, fun game, but a loss nonetheless. I think I'm probably going to put a Chimera into the list to help